This question is from GATE Mechanical Engineering of 2012. This is question number 24. The question is, at x is equal to 0, the function f of x is equal to x cube plus 1 has 4 options are given to us. Option A is a maximum value, B is a minimum value, option C is a singularity, and option D is a point of inflection. So let's write the given function. F of x is equal to x cube plus 1. Okay. Now to check whether the function has a maxima or minima, we'll find the first derivative of this function with respect to x. So this is equal to 3x square. Okay. Now let's equate this f dash of x, that is the first derivative, to 0. We get x is equal to 0. So this is the critical point. Okay. Now for a function, if its first derivative is 0, that means the slope of a function is 0. At that point we have a local maxima or a local minima. But before declaring that x, the critical point, will give maxima or minima, we need to check for point of inflection. So we need to find the second derivative of this function. So the second derivative of this will be 6x. Okay. Now the critical point is x is equal to 0. Now we can observe here that if x is greater than the critical point, that is 0 in this case, so f double dash of x is greater than 0, and if x is lesser than 0, f double dash of x is lesser than 0. Okay, that means this, the second derivative represent the curvature, that means this is concave upward and this is concave downward. Okay, the convexity and concavity of the curve. Alright, that means here we can see that at x is equal to 0, the curve or the graph of this function f of x changes its curvature. Therefore, at x is equal to 0, the function f of x has a point of inflection. Okay. Now let's check option C also, that it is a singularity. So singularity basically means that the function does not exist at that point. But here the domain of this function is all real numbers. Okay. It cannot have a singularity. Okay. So option D is the correct choice. Now for questions like GATE, you have very less time to solve it. So one more method to solve this problem is if you can draw the graph of x cube plus 1. So how we can do that? So if suppose f of x is equal to x cube, we can plot this as, so we know the graph is something like this. Okay, where this is f of x and this is x. Now if we want to draw f of x is equal to x cube plus 1, so it will be something like this. The graph will shift 1 unit upward. Okay, 1 unit positive in the y-axis. Okay, so this will shift somewhat here. Okay, so we can see here at x is equal to 0, the slope changes. Okay, that means the curvature changes. The slope changes its sign, that means the curvature changes. Okay, so at x is equal to 0, we have a point of inflection. For more information, you can refer to NPTEL course lecture number 17, Maxima and Minima Part 1, Basic Calculus 1 by Professor Arindam Singh of the Department of Mathematics at IIT Madras. You can also follow his lectures on singularity as well as point of inflection.